In a world that never stops moving, we often find ourselves standing still, paralyzed by the weight of our own struggles. Imagine a man named Elias. He sits in a dimly lit room, the blue light of a laptop screen reflecting in his tired eyes. Around him, the walls seem to be closing in, covered in sticky notes of unfinished tasks and overdue notices. He feels like he is drowning in a vast ocean of what-ifs and how to solve this. This is the face of a man who has let his problems become his identity. We have all been Elias at some point. We look at the mountain in front of us, and instead of climbing, we sit at the base and wonder why the summit is so far away. But what if I told you that the distance between your current struggle and your ultimate success is 1,000 miles? What if it's just one single simple shift in how you breathe, think, and act? The problem isn't the obstacle itself. The obstacle is neutral. It's the wall. It's the debt. It's the failed exam. It's the broken relationship. These things exist, but they don't have power until we give them our focus. Elias looks at his desk and sees a mess. He sees failure. But as he stares at the clutter, a memory flashes in his mind. He remembers a clockmaker he met years ago. The old man told him, "When a watch stops working, you don't throw it away. You don't hit it with a hammer. You take a magnifying glass and look for the smallest gear that has stopped turning." This is the first step of our simple solution. Stop looking at the mountain. Start looking at the first stone you need to move. Success is often sold to us as a grand, explosive event. We see the billionaire on stage, the athlete with the gold medal, the artist with the masterpiece. We see the result, but we ignore the mundane, repetitive process that got them there. The secret, the one simple solution to moving from a state of problem to a state of success, is the rule of one. One task. 1 hour, 1%. When Elias realizes this, the room begins to change. He stops trying to fix his whole life in one night. Instead, he picks up one single piece of paper. He clears 1 square foot of his desk. He writes down one goal for the next 60 minutes. In the 3D world of his mind, the giant monsters of debt and failure begin to shrink because he is no longer feeding them with his fear. He is feeding his progress with action. Consider the nature of a breakthrough. We often think of it as a wall shattering, but in reality, it is more like water coming to a boil. You apply heat, and for a long time, nothing seems to happen. The water stays still. Then, at 99 degrees, it is just hot water. But at 100 degrees, it turns into steam, and steam can power a locomotive. Elias was at 90 degrees for years, frustrated that he wasn't steaming yet. He didn't realize he was only a few degrees away. Most people quit at 98 degrees. They quit when the problem is at its heaviest, not knowing that the simple solution consistency was about to pay off. The psychology of failure is a heavy chain. Every time we fail and give up, we add a link to that chain. Elias felt the weight of that chain every morning. It made his bed feel like lead and his shoes feel like stones. But the simple solution also works in reverse. Every small win, no matter how tiny, acts as a bolt cutter. When he cleaned his desk, one link snapped. When he made one difficult phone call, another link snapped. Success is the process of liberating yourself from the chains of your own excuses. It is the realization that you are the architect of your cage, but you also hold the key. As the sun begins to rise, casting long, golden shadows across his floor, Elias is no longer the man he was at midnight. He hasn't won the lottery. He hasn't solved every problem, but he has changed his momentum. Momentum is the most powerful force in the universe. Once you move that first stone, the second one becomes lighter. The third one feels like a feather. Success is not a destination you reach. It is a direction you choose to walk in every single day. The problem was a stationary state. Success is a state of constant, focused movement. If you are watching this and feeling overwhelmed, take a deep breath. Look at the chaos around you and find the smallest, tiniest thing you can fix right now. Do it. Don't think about tomorrow. Don't think about next year. Just do the next right thing. The simple solution to any complex problem is to stop treating it as a giant and start treating it as a series of small steps. You don't need a miracle. You just need a move. Think about the seeds planted in the earth. They spend a long time in the dark, covered in dirt, compressed by the weight of the ground. To the seed, this is a problem. It is a struggle for survival. But that pressure is exactly what it needs to grow strong roots. Without the dirt, there is no tree. Without the struggle, there is no strength. Your problems are not there to stop you. They are there to develop the muscles you will need when you finally reach the top. Elias realized that his dark room was actually his dark soil. He wasn't buried. He was planted. Now, imagine yourself a year from today. You are standing in a place of abundance. You have the health, the career, and the peace of mind you currently crave. When you look back at this moment, you won't remember the fear. You will remember the moment you decided to stop complaining and start climbing. You will realize that the one simple solution was always within your reach. It was the choice to keep going when it was easier to stop. It was the choice to be 1% better when the world told you it wasn't enough. Elias stands up, walks to the window, and breathes in the fresh morning air. The 3D world around him is vibrant and full of color now. The shadows are gone. He knows there will be more problems tomorrow, but he is no longer afraid of them. He has the formula. Focus on the gear, not the watch. Focus on the step, not the mountain. Focus on the action, not the result. This is how you bridge the gap. This is how you transform your life. From problem to success, the path is narrow, but it is clear. Take that step today. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, but now. Because the version of you that succeeds is waiting for the version of you that is watching this to simply begin. The solution is simple. The work is yours. The success is inevitable if you refuse to stay down. Believe in the process, trust the small wins, and watch as your world transforms from a prison of problems into a playground of possibilities. You have everything you need. Now, go out there and prove it to yourself.